The Capital Improvements Budget, or the CIB, is the document that lays out what Metro could spend money on for durable goods over the next 6 years. By Metro Charter, any capital improvement that Metro makes must be included in the CIB. A capital improvement is any building, structure, work, or improvement, generally with a lifespan over 10 years and a cost greater than $50,000. For a little bit of context, this past year's CIB included over 1,000 projects requesting $20 billion over the next 10 years. While any capital improvement that Metro makes must be included in the CIB, being in the CIB does not guarantee funding. It only lays out what Metro could spend money on in the next year. It includes 6 years of projects, but is only binding on the first year. Once a project is included in the CIB, it needs some source of funding to proceed to implementation. Many projects are funded through general obligation bonds, which are specified through a capital spending plan. But projects can also be funded through revenue bonds, 4% funds for office and fixtures and equipment, enterprise funds or operating budget, or federal or state funding. Assembling the CIB happens every year, generally from October until June. The first phase are council requests that occur from October to January. Then departments submit their requests in January and February. The Advanced Planning and Research team assembles all of those requests and prepares the CIB document, which goes to the Planning Commission for a vote by the end of April. The mayor releases his draft by May 15th every year, and council must vote to adopt by June 15th. The cycle begins again the following October. The CIB is a lengthy document broken into several sections. It starts with an introduction that tries to summarize the kinds of projects that are being requested and the process that we go through to put it together. Then Section 1 outlines projects that are funded by the Urban Services District. These are generally fairly rare, so it's not a very long section. Section 2 includes projects funded by the General Services District. And then the bulk of the CIB is Section 3, which lays out project details. Within Section 3, several pieces of information are available for each project. You have a project title, a project description, a project ID, as well as project funding information. The planning department attempts to map every project where a physical location is known or a planned area is identified. And then the planning department also assesses every project against Nashville Next, both the guiding principles and the growth and preservation concept map. Finally, a central section of each project detail lays out different ways of prioritizing projects, from a recommended planning commission priority, department priority, and any council priorities that have been identified. Much of the CIB is projects that Metro does over and over again, such as parks projects, sidewalk projects, or road projects. To make the CIB more understandable, we've organized these projects into overarching programs. These are shown on the screen here. You can see MNPS projects at the top, parks programs, water and sewer programs, transportation programs, for example. This helps to make the CIB more understandable, as well as easier to find similar projects. Here's an example of NDOT's State of Good Repair program for maintenance needs throughout the county. Here, they've requested all of their program needs in a single project, and we've mapped all of the potential projects that could fund throughout the county in the map below. Some departments submit individual projects that are then organized into these overarching programs. Here, libraries list out individual new library projects, which are grouped together under a new planning and construction program. This helps keep all of the library projects in one place so that it's easy to look in the CIB and see where all of the new library projects are put together. The CIB can be a valuable tool for understanding needs in different parts of the community. The CIB can be found on our department website, or you can drop by and talk to anyone in the Advanced Planning and Research team to find out what we can do to help you. Thank you for taking the time to learn a little bit about the Capital Improvements budget process.